All right, our next question will start with Mike. Georgia has 3 ways to complete high school: a diploma, a certificate, and a special education diploma. Do you support adding a 4th option, a technical education diploma? Why or why not?
I think we have enough different diplomas. What we have to do is ensure that we help the young people find their passion in one of those 3 avenues. And I want to echo some earlier comments about the graduation rate and why we rank where we do. So many states have much lower expectations for what their graduates have to have in the way, for example, math. In Georgia, you have to have 4 maths, and that 3rd one has to be advanced algebra and trig, and it doesn't matter what your IEP says by and large. That is hurting us. If you're trying to truly compare apples to apples, it's not happening. But what we have to do is make sure that we have multiple ways for young people to find their passion. The Career Pathways Initiative, which was mandated by state law, where we have put in 100 new courses over 17 clusters with the input of business and industry throughout the state of Georgia, will allow us to develop courses that help the young people find their passion and will help turn them into graduates. I don't think we have to add another diploma to make that happen. What we have to do is do a better job with a systemic approach. Graduation rates do not live and die on the high school experience. It begins in kindergarten and it runs all the way through. So we've got to do a better job with career awareness type activities in the elementary level, career exploration type activities in the middle school, and really career development activities at the high school level. Our business and industry loves this type of approach. We ask them to tell us what we need to do because they're our end consumers. And whatever job, whether kids leave high school and go directly to work, whether they leave high school and go to technical college, whether they leave high school and go into a traditional 4-year diploma program, we've got to give them all of those options and help those young people find their passion.
Thank you.
Thank you. A couple of things. First, just, technology is great. So I've got my smartphone up here. So I looked up the grading scales of our neighbor states. And do you know in Texas, Tennessee, and North Carolina, well, Texas and Tennessee, below 75 is a D. So boy, let's see those numbers if we were relative to that. That would make us look worse, not better. And in fact, North Carolina, you would have a 77. Is the lowest to get a C in North Carolina. So 76 is a D there. So, the apples aren't looking so good when we start comparing. They really aren't. Okay, so we have to get serious. As far as the diplomas go, I was over in Jasper yesterday and had a great conversation with a fellow running for the school board. He's a big proponent of technical education, and we're not doing well there. We're providing lip service to career education, and we know that is a solid road into the middle class. With great income potential for kids, and we are just really passing that by. We need to be seeing more dual enrollment. We were talking about that just last night in Jasper, and that's really a good investment for taxpayers. We need to be letting those kids, and that will also help kids. We talked some about relevance here. It will help keep education relevant, and it'll be a good investment, again, for the taxpayer. So, and when those kids get out, they're making more. Some of those degree programs, they're making more on average than 4-year college graduates who are then saddled with debt. So, I don't know if the answer is really a diploma, but we certainly need to be focused more on technical education and pushing, allowing children to go there and telling them more about it. Some counties are doing a great job. I think they're doing a good job about it in Hall County, and we need to be sharing those practices across our state. Thank you.
Again, looking at whether it's technical, college, special ed, whatever diploma selection you have, it's got to have relevance. It's got to have actually meaning. When the child actually graduates from high school, what does that diploma mean? Does it open the doors of opportunity for them to continue their education? Does it allow them to be, effective and very productive, members of a business? It will allow them to eventually become a small business owner. So I think relevance and long term, we have to look at, does the piece of paper actually mean anything? But that being said, I think that, with our schools and with our kids, we need to give them as much choice, as possible. And that means that we expand the opportunities, whether it's, looking at, expanding our STEM classwork, looking at expanding, what I used to call the vocational technical skill area, which definitely has took a hit over the many years because of a lot of remediation and really moving away from the one-size-fits-all mentality, which we had during that time of No Child Left Behind. It does have to, be focused. It does have to be looked at. I think, having partnerships with our business, would be a great plan. Looking at, apprenticeships, at the local level, expanding, opportunities with whether it's agriculture. I think, agriculture is a $70 billion business in Georgia. And so we need to do a bigger partnership and a greater partnership with our businesses. Let's put labs from our businesses right there at our school. That will give them relevance. That will give them meaning. That will give substance to our diplomas. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Kay?
I really love living in Georgia, and I really love living in Fayette County. I'm just so happy to be here in Georgia. What the problem is with these career clusters is, I ran a grant from the U.S. Department of Education for 4 years, the Preparing Tomorrow's Teachers Use Technology grant. I've been to Washington, D.C. They do not have the answers. So what does this have to do with career technical education? It's coming from Washington, D.C. What we have is we have the career clusters that are copyrighted and trademarked by Achieve and Company, the same people who copyrighted Common Core. And these career clusters now, they're written into this legislation, House Bill 897, and not only are they there in the House bill, and now we have to do them, our whole rating system that we use here in Georgia, the CCRPI, is no longer based on reading or writing or math, just only 51%. Yes, the rest, Duncan Brownie points for people who complete these career pathways. No one's analyzing whether they even need them. No one's analyzing whether they're even any good. I met someone who makes signs, who wants to do t-shirt printing. And they suggested, maybe we could have kids learn that. Oh no, it's not on the list. This list was not made by Georgians. It was made by people outside of Georgia. And this needs to be brought to light because we cannot look at our school rating scores and think that those are an indication of how our students are doing academically when they're not. They have all these other factors that are included. We need to get back to direct rating of student achievement, and we don't need these Duncan Brownie points for all of these career clusters completers, because that is not what our parents have chosen. If our parents and our students want career education, good. Let's do it. But we don't want Arnie Duncan telling us what to do.
Thank you. Kira?
Thank you. I think the question was technical education diploma. Are we in for it or against it? Yes, I am absolutely for a technical education diploma. We need to give our career technological, agricultural, and engineering pathways teeth. Meaning, I want for our students who may not want to go to college, not that they're not able, they may just choose not to go to school. The ability to leave high school with a hireable certified skill. No, okay, you're done here now. Now you need a little bit of training in a technical school so that we can get you a job. We should be able to afford our students the ability to walk out of 12th grade, graduating 12th grade, with a degree and saying, you are walking now into a job. Again, this opens up the ability for our schools. I know Richard said, let's allow the schools to have these technical options and technical abilities. Schools can't be a jacks of all trades and masters of none. We can't say we're going to have a foods class and a whole chef's kitchen, and we're also going to have a greenhouse, and we're also going to have a computer program that rivals that of IBM. We can't have all of that. But what we can do is have specific schools specialize in specific areas and afford our students the ability to move within those areas. And that could be inter-school choice, intra-school choice. The smaller counties could partner together. It happens. It happened in Alabama back in 1980, when my husband's principal had the forethought to say, hey, we've got a graduating class of 20. Let's go to the different high schools around and say, these children need to take some AP courses. So they put them all together, they sent them to a technical school, and they afforded them the ability to take those classes together. That can be done in our smaller systems, and I think we're negating that choice there for our smaller systems as well.
Thank you. Yes.
I will say to you, opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. When our young people graduate from high school, I want to make sure they have an opportunity to go to work, to go to technical school, or to go to college. Our technical schools are a critical part of our economy and and the opportunity for our students that don't want to go on to a four-year college where they can pick up a skill. And I think we can work with our businesses. And we've got, it's around the state right now, and where businesses are working with schools to provide that technical education. Now, do we need another technical diploma? That can be studied. What we want to make sure is they have the opportunity to train in a specific skill if that's what they want. They are young adults, and they get to choose, and they talk with their parents. My kids talk with me. I said, as long as the opportunity is there, you can choose which career or which path you would like to go down. And I think if those technical schools, like I said, if those technical schools and the businesses are working together with our school systems, the opportunity, again, is there for our youngsters. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was the question again, exactly?
Sure. Georgia has 3 ways to complete high school: a diploma, a certificate, and a special education diploma. Do you support adding a 4th option, a technical education diploma? Why or why not?
Thank you. I love technical ed. I grew up in an at-risk high school, and in that school there was an auto mechanics lab. There was even factory workers where they had fabrics tie with, and they taught them to use the saws. And in those days there was typing, shorthand, and bookkeeping. But these students would be able to graduate with job skills ready to go to work. Also in Germany they have a model where you learn college prep classes as well as a skill. We have a family relative that's a professor of physics at Purdue University, but he's also a skilled carpenter because he grew up in that system. Just coming back to auto mechanics is a good example of, should be a required class because all of us are going to own cars. So I think just offering those in the school are just an excellent idea. The upside of that too is when I first started teaching the school, it was a different school than when I attended, but they had an auto mechanics class, and at night they offered community adult ed in there, and so I was able to take auto mechanics. So just having these facilities in a community, sometimes you educate the adults as well as the kids in different skills.
All right, thank you.
Is it my
Alan,
time now?
it is your turn.
I haven't heard a whole lot except some stuff. The question was, would you offer a technical diploma? Yes. What we need is we ought to understand that not every system is like a Cherokee or Fulton or Cobb or Forsyth. That there are kids out there in this state, because remember this is the state school superintendent, so you need knowledge of all 180 school systems about what they do in South Georgia, Middle Georgia, North Georgia, and the metro area. There are actually a lot of kids who just want to go through school and get a job. They want training in high school, the basic training for high school, shop, health occupations, and then about 16 or 17, a large part because of their family economics. They need to work. When I was at Gordon Central and the carpet capital of the world in Calhoun and Dalton, they wanted to get out and work for a living. They wanted a job. That was their nature. We talk about social skills. That was their nature, to be a carpet person. It's kind of like my mother was a teacher, I'm a teacher. We follow paths in life. And so a lot of times we have to understand that these kids in this school, they want to get what they need in the 9th or 10th grade, maybe 11th grade, and then they want to get out, they can drive, they're 16, they might can have a car. They want to get in that car about lunchtime and go get a job. And they want a diploma. And a lot of times we do not let kids get diplomas because they can't pass Math 4. Well, when are you going to use Math 4 if all you want to be is a welder in society and own a business? I'm going to be a millionaire because I own a welding business and 3 other subsidiaries, but I did not graduate from high school. Why? Because we are not thinking the right way, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to let these kids graduate, be proud of that high school diploma. It might be the only one they have. When you go in their office, and they own 7 plumbing companies, and guess what? They own you. Okay? And so, yes, we need a technical diploma, and we need to get these kids out early and make them feel good about themselves and good about life.
Well, I think currently there's a trend going to where we're trying to create more career paths for our high school graduates. There's over 30 some odd career paths that a student should be able to pick from, and hopefully every student in this state at some point will be able to choose one of those career paths to graduate and have that as a part of their repertoire. Whether it's agriculture, whether it's technology, health science, hospitality. Now, everyone knows, no 14-year-old knows what they want to do when they grow up, but having that myriad of options before them so they could take 2 or 3 classes and get a taste of what the real world is like, that's a good thing. In my charter school, we had a young girl who just is about to graduate. She's done 7 career paths already. Now, that doesn't mean she knows which one she wants to do as an adult, but she does have a lot of experience doing a lot of different things. Career paths are a great way for students to get a taste of different careers. And what really enhances them is when they're coupled with technical schools. When they're coupled with great schools like Lanier Tech and Moultrie Tech and all these different schools where students can learn long distance, some of from teachers that aren't in their high school, but teachers who have a very unique experience and work experience dealing in different varied fields. So I support career paths. I support the fact that we give our students more options and they can get a taste of different things. It makes them more well-rounded, and I think it puts them on a path. So when they graduate, they can take that career path and know a little bit more about the real world and be ready to go when it's time to leave high school.